Hi guys, I'm John Davis and welcome to my channel. I'm an aspiring internet marketer and I'm currently on a 100-day challenge. I'm trying to produce 100 videos in 100 days. I'm a YouTube newbie and I'm figuring this out from scratch. Today we're going to look at whether funnels have to be ugly and can you get a more pretty and beautiful funnel? Woo! Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm John Davis and welcome to my channel. I'm an aspiring internet marketer and in this video we're going to be looking at sales funnels and whether ugly works or they need to be pretty. So the first thing we're going to look at in this video is why people even use ugly funnels. Secondly, we're going to look at the arguments for beautiful funnels. And lastly, I'm going to show you where we can find high converting and beautiful sales funnels. Stay tuned right to the end and I'm going to show you a perfect little website that will help you with your branding and colour schemes. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at actual ugly sales funnels. You know, the ones that you see them and they're just kind of like really poor kind of colour schemes and big bold buttons, no real kind of consistency with fonts or placement or even copy. It's just basically one big mash of text and says click here to do X, Y, Z. And I want to see, why do people put them out there? What would be the reason for you to create a sales funnel in that style? So the first thing is time. So it can be pretty time consuming to create a funnel that you're kind of proud of and happy with. I know some of my own funnels, especially my homepage one and that, it's been like an ongoing project for months now and I'll tweak this, tweak that. And ultimately it's not about that. Although design can make be a big deciding factor, it's also about functionality and it's about the offer. If you're creating an offer that is irresistible and people want, some people will look past that design. So the expense of creating an absolutely stunning funnel, that might be out of your own capabilities. That might be something where you need to bring someone in and get them to kind of design it for you. I know some funnel designers can charge a lot of money, and rightly so, because if they're creating the perfect looking funnel and that puts money in your pocket, then they're within their rights to charge you an amount that is appropriate. So that's another reason. So sometimes people will just go with the cheaper option and rely on having a good offer. And I think that also comes in with the old adage that done is better than perfect. So to get something out there, to get something published, start to see whether it converts and at what point that funnel breaks down is better than trying to perfect everything. So I think they're the arguments why people do use ugly funnels. But generally, I think the reason most people do it is because it's about functionality and the offer, and the design isn't kind of the number one factor. It can contribute, but it doesn't have to be the number one factor. So now we're going to look at why perhaps you should have an extremely attractive looking sales funnel, what difference it makes to the end customer, what difference it makes to you as the funnel designer or business owner. So one of the main reasons is perception. A little bit like websites, and I think that's part of the issue. We're so used to looking at websites that are kind of really easy on the eye. It's the same with sales funnels. We expect the same when they're two different things really. So a sales funnel is about selling. A website can be about having that online presence and about producing content, but generally a sales funnel is a more direct way of leading your customer down that journey from A to B. So one of the things is that perception of time and money. People often think ugly is fast and cheap, whereas a beautiful design it's had money spent on it, it's had time put into it. So if they take care of kind of branding more, then it gives that perception that the product is better as well. So the second thing I'd say is impact. So I know personally I like good design, so sometimes if I see a sales funnel and it's kind of striking and elegant, or it's got certain features about it, I am a bit of a mug for going for something that it has high impact in terms of how it looks. I think you have that kind of admiration and you kind of think, wow, that is brilliant. And I think I've shown you before, but I use a little Chrome extension called Fill Your Funnel, where you can save other sales funnels, and I have quite a few in there, and I've gone back and looked at them, and a lot of them, I'm not even interested in the product really, I just look at them and think, wow, that was really nice. The third one, I guess, is simplicity should rule over complex design. So something can kind of look striking and be visually attractive, but it's still got to be simple enough. You can't lose, them leads cannot be lost within the complexity of kind of a fancy design. They can't just be pretty for the sake of it. You want well structured, and functional design rather than just being pretty for the sake of it. And I'd say the last area, and this is something I've kind of come across myself, so the last area is when you're looking at kind of industry specific sales funnels. So this is something that I've seen myself. Just a short story. So quite a few years ago, myself and my wife decided to have children, and we've got two beautiful children. But what we did find, because we both built our careers up, it meant that we didn't have that kind of family balance, that work-life balance and time together as a family. So we made quite a big decision at one point that my wife was going to step down in her role. It'd mean a lot less money coming into the house, and things are kind of tighter financially. But it did mean that we answered a lot of the problems we have in terms of how much time we spend together. It was probably the best decision we ever made, but we never had the budget then for them niceties, for them vacations and little treats here and there. So as part of that, my wife has started retraining in the beauty industry. So you can imagine when you get kind of like hairdressers and beauticians and nail technicians, it's all about appearance, it's all about look. So obviously a website or a sales funnel has to have functionality, it has to answer the problems that the customers have. It's got to break down them false beliefs and objections, but it's also got to look good. Let's face it, people are paying money to be a better version of themselves. So you've got to kind of work on that, and you've got to have that same thing with your website or sales funnel. So I think that's a good example of where that industry would almost demand a more aesthetically pleasing sales funnel. Now, what we're going to look at next is Funnel Gorgeous. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Funnel Gorgeous before, but it's a company that's run by Cathy, Olson and Stoian, who is one of Russell Brunson's top people at Clickfunnels. So she knows sales funnels inside out, and so does Cathy. But they come at it from a design element as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Cathy and Julie basically design and sell well-designed creative funnels. This isn't going to be a full review. I'm not going to kind of fully endorse it, because as an internet marketer, I only endorse products that I've tried and tested myself. Now, what I would say is I have bought one of their templates. So every month, I believe, they open up their vaults and they release a sales funnel. They'll release like a specific sales funnel, and for so many hours, you've got kind of like a time limit on where you can get that funnel for, say, $50. I think that's what I paid. After that time has run out, that specific funnel then goes back into the vault. In other words, so that people aren't just constantly buying the same one. It adds a little bit of scarcity, which is quite a good sales tactic. It also stops everyone from having the exact same kind of look. You've then got to wait for it to come back out, or with certain ones you can pay a premium to kind of buy it as well. So it's clever. It's really clever kind of sales strategy from Cathy and Julie. Now, I know Funnel Gorgeous also do a course, and they also do various upsells where I think you can buy access to the full suite of templates that they've produced. So I'm not here to review that. I'm not here to say it's great, it's bad. Like I say, one thing I would always recommend to anyone out there who's thinking of getting into internet marketing, only ever advise and review products that you have tested yourself. Now, I have no doubt whatsoever that anything that Julie and Cathy produce is probably absolute top notch, but I'm not here to say that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through one of the templates, and we'll try and look at the features and see how it makes that best of both worlds.